Namaste and Vanakkam. Greetings of peace and love from Sadhana land on this very special day. Yes, today the whole world honors and pays tribute to our much-loved former President Nelson Mandela. Our show today highlights Tanta's legacy within the South African Hindu community with a visit to the UDW Hindu Temple. We also attend the Hindu Mahasabha Founders Day Havan prayer and play out with a beautiful rendition of Vaishnava Janatu. But first, we meet author, poet and entertainer Kishore in Gauteng. Upon reflection of his own experiences with life, death, love and pain, Kishore creates poetry that enchants and engages the reader through his skillful use of words. One of his works, Junoon, the Fire, includes a poem entitled Hamagahle Madiba, which was written after the passing of the world peace icon. Sadhana caught up with Kishore at the Lyric Theatre in Johannesburg to find out more about this amazing personality.
I've been very fortunate in this life to have the parents that I have, because they gave me opportunities as a kid that few others had. They allowed me to run wild, literally, to do whatever I wanted to do. And whether it involved mosques or churches or temples or charitable organizations, whether it was Red Cross, whatever it is, they never said anything. So if ever there is inspiration, that's where it came from. I never ever regarded myself as a writer. From my days back in school, I had lots of poems written. A friend of mine, quite famous today, very popular, brilliant person, Deepak Ram. We used to write poems together, we should spend afternoons together, get up to mischief together, and we wrote lots of poems. He wrote as well. He lives in Washington today. 2008, when he came down, when we met, and we looked at some of the poetry. And then he said, "Why don't you publish?" And I thought about it and I said, "Nah man, where am I going to publish?" Anyway, the thought nagged at me. And a couple of months ago, I took out, and it was a book of poems which was called Meri Kavita. And all the poems from those days, when we were 16, the nonsense that we went through, the uncertainties in our own lives, all that was captured in that type of poetry in that time. While I was busy finalizing Meri Kavita, another book emerged, and that is Meri Zindagi. So the two of them got published simultaneously. While these were the publishers, I started with a novel, Guzarish. My first novel. Guzarish deals with Indian families that came from India, eventually came to KZN, Northern Natal, and others that came to Johannesburg. It focuses around women, the difficulties that women go through. I come from a religion where there is no disparity between men and women, and there's never been. But over the recent decades, we have created that disparity. And suddenly the girl child has got no value. Suddenly the woman's voice has no value. But we don't come from that background. Today, and probably in the last 10, 12 years, we've seen very much different. We have seen our women change. We've seen our women emerge. They still take care of their households. They still take care of their husbands and their families and everything else. But now they have careers. Now they have degrees. Now they have their own wealth. Now they have become independent. And they've thrived in this in a world of men. And they've succeeded. And this is what my second book, Theory Kism, brings out. Where it brings out these women, irrespective of how it has been before. And the fact that our mothers and our grandmothers would say it's our karma, we have to do this. The woman of today has changed that. The next one after Meri Zindagi was in 2010. 2010 we had the World Cup year. 2010 we celebrated 150 years of Indians in South Africa. So all that inspired the writing of Geet, the lyric of my soul. I had a tragedy in my family. where my sister and her family was wiped out in a motor car accident. And that inspired the writing of Bin Tumare, which is a book that talks about pain that we go through and the fact that many of us never ever recover from that type of losses. The year after, I published Khudrat Ka Karishma. 2013, it talks a lot about the change of times. Also included in here is Remembering Sapphire Town. On Madiba's birthday, everybody was talking about 67 minutes. I decided 67 hours. 67 hours, I will produce a book. 67 hours, we wrote Free at Last. We released a book in 67 hours. 67 hours it was at the printer. So we were able to do that. This was 2013, our gift on Madiba's birthday. Included in here is a section called Amagash Le Madiba, which brings through those poems that was written in that week of his death. We talk about how we feel about it, what had happened during that time, how South Africans were feeling, and probably how globally people were feeling because of his loss. Free at Last, the only reason why it is because it deals, Free at Last deals with Madibas, it deals with the riots, it deals with the days of apartheid. And when Madiba cast his first vote, he said, Free at last, free at last. And that's where the name came from. So that basically is my journey in terms of my writing. So I sit here now on the brink of finalizing my 10th book this year.